Hi, scholars, and welcome to Miss LaConte's Science Corner. Today, we are going to talk a little bit about lichens, and you remember from last time, I found some lichens on my daily walk. A lichen is an organism, a living thing, that makes a partnership with algae in plants in order to survive. So you can see in the picture, my lichens growing on the rock. And the lichens offer support to the algae, and the algae does photosynthesis to make food for the lichens. I want to show you this weekend I actually saw a bunch of examples of lichens in nature. First, I found some lichens growing all on rocks. I went to a place called Lichens Pond, which is actually only 10 minutes away from our school, and I saw these rocks in the woods and saw many, many lichens living on them. I also saw some lichens on trees that were still standing, and I saw some lichens on logs that had fallen down in the woods. This one was the most exciting to me. I actually saw a stone wall where there were plenty of lichens living and growing. I was really excited by that. Over the weekend, did you see any lichens outside? If you know where to look on wood, rocks, and stones, they really are all around. Now, last week I also asked you to think about lichens make a partnership with algae and rocks to survive. What other plants and animals make partnerships to help them survive? I have two strong examples for you today. What do you see in this picture? I see a partnership between an animal, a butterfly, and a plant. When the butterfly drinks the nectar out of the flower, some pollen from the flower gets on the butterfly's legs and antennae. When the butterfly flies off to another plant, another flower, that butterfly might even leave behind some pollen. This helps the plants reproduce and make new seeds. Another partnership from the animal world, this is one of my favorite ones. This bird is called an egret, and this is a buffalo. Now, the buffalo is a big, strong animal, and what happens is sometimes bugs like to make a home on the buffalo. Kind of gross. So the egret, the bird, gets a ride from the buffalo and also gets to eat all of the bugs on the buffalo skin that are bothering the buffalo. So the egret gets the benefit of getting a ride and getting food, and the buffalo gets the benefit of getting clean. Can you think of any other partnerships in the plant and animal world? All right, moving on. You guys might have seen on your teacher's website, I have a place for you to write burning questions. And I'm going to try to answer at least 2 or 3 burning questions every week for you to keep your curiosity going. These questions can be about anything you want related to science. A lot of the ones I've seen so far are related to animals, so we'll start with that. The first burning question says, what are the adaptations of a bear? This question was submitted by Chanel, and I thought it was a really interesting question because it speaks to everything we've learned about how plants and animals meet their needs for survival. First of all, you might remember that word adaptation. An adaptation is any behavior or body part that helps a plant or animal meet its needs and survive. Now, Chanel asked, what are the adaptations of a bear? And I instantly thought, that's a great question because it all depends on what type of bear you are talking about. We know this animal is a polar bear. Do you remember what type of climate the polar bear lives in? Polar bear lives in the polar climate, which is super, super, super cold all year long. What are some body parts and behaviors that might help the polar bear survive in this cold, cold climate? Let's take a look. Two adaptations that I want to point out to you. Right here, we have large furry feet that help them walk on the ice and snow of the polar climate. We also have the black nose. The black nose is really interesting because the polar bear's face is long like a snout. This lets them be able to smell food and smell the nutrients they need to survive through all of that ice and all of that snow. Now, this is such a great question because those adaptations are going to completely change when we talk about the grizzly bear. Do you remember what type of climate the grizzly bear lives in? Here's a hint. It starts with a T. Yeah, the grizzly bear survives in the temperate climate, warm in the summer and cold in the winter. What adaptations do you think the grizzly bear has to survive? Let's take a look. Two things I want to point out to you. First, we have long, sharp, and curved claws. Can you guess what those are used for? Probably for catching prey, right? Also, we have a big muscle hump on the shoulder that gives the bear strength for digging and running fast. What season do you think digging might be important? I wonder if the bear has to dig a lot during the spring to find food after hibernation in the winter. What other adaptations can you think of for either a grizzly bear or a polar bear? All right, scientists, I can't wait until the next time we get to talk about your burning questions. And tomorrow I'm planning to film a whole new experiment for us to take a look at. Until next time, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye now.